All right, this is the chapter summary for chapters 5 and 6. For chapter 5, it starts off with talking about federalism, supremacy clause, federal supremacy, federal preemption, separation of powers, which we all learned in like elementary school, the commerce clause, and police power. And then it talks about the impact of amendments on business, and I feel like that has a lot of impact on business, especially when it comes to like marketing. Whenever you have a commercial about something, you have to be careful with what you say, what happens within the business place, literally anything that goes on related to business. It talks about the First Amendment and the 14th Amendment, and it goes into the Communications Decency Act of 1996, which protects minors from harmful material on the internet, but the Supreme Court found that unconstitutional, so instead they came up with the Internet Protection Act, which requires libraries to implement filtering software to prevent minors from accessing pornography or other obscene and potentially harmful material. The chapter then goes on to talk about the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Due Process Clause, the procedural due process, substantive due process, and takings clause. I didn't know what a takings clause was. A lot of these terms I really didn't know, so I had to really look down and really look at them and understand what they have to say and like what they mean, so that I can succeed in this class. And chapter 6 goes on to talk about crime right off the bat with felonies, misdemeanor, petty crime. I didn't know that there were a difference between it. I thought it was just like the same thing between a felony and a misdemeanor. Petty crime, I knew that was like low level, but I didn't know misdemeanor was just less serious than a felony and punishable by fine or imprisonment. And a felony is a serious crime punishable by death or imprisonment in a penitentiary. Criminal procedure, arrest, and probable cause, and Miranda rights. Miranda rights are a very huge deal. I know that if a police officer does not read you your rights, nothing can happen with a court of law. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Talks about your first appearance in the court. Talks about bail, information, which is a formal written accusation in a misdemeanor case. Arraignment, formal appearance of the defendant in court to answer the indictment by entering a plea of guilty or not guilty. The nolo contendere, which I had no idea what that was, which is a plea of no contest that subjects the defendant to punishment but is not an admission of guilt. I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know that was like the actual term for it. And then the plea bargaining. The chapter goes on to talk about entrapment, insanity defense, which I know happened in one case, especially with Chris Kyle, the American Sniper. A lot of people were really ticked off that the defendant pled insanity. Duress defense, which is someone basically forces you to do it, otherwise they'll like kill you or like harm you in any sort of way. Basically, the rest of chapter 6 just talks about all the terms used in a court of law, like a virus, worms, larceny, strict liability offense, white collar crime, like all the things related to the courtroom, which is like the serious stuff, what you really need to know about if anything were to happen, what to know and what to know, so you know what to do and what to not do.